Hip-hop was born right here in New York City, but regions across the U.S. and around the globe have put their own stamp on it. Maybe the first to do it as successfully, the West Coast. Artists not only brought their own unique sound to the genre, but also their real-life struggles. As we continue to take a look at hip-hop at 50, Rocsi Diaz takes us on a journey through the evolution and impact of West Coast rap.
It ain't nothing like the West Coast, man. California love. West Coast impacted everything.
The first thing that we need to say about the West Coast sound is that it is the best coast sound.
While hip-hop may have been born in New York, the West Coast established itself as a musical powerhouse, bringing in the sounds and culture of the Golden State with lyrics that demonstrated a storytelling prowess, setting the artists apart from the rest.
6 in the morning, police at my door. Fresh Adidas squeak across the bathroom floor. Out my back.
I remember hearing Ice-T 6 in the morning and like, whoa, what is that? That is different, that is wild. That's a crazy story. It was deeper and badder than what we were talking about on the East Coast.
The emergence of hip-hop out of the West Coast provoked a seismic shift within mainstream music, speaking the truth about life in the streets of South Central Los Angeles.
When West Coast rap began to blow up, so many people thought because hip-hop itself was born in New York City, that it was always going to be that. No. And no.
In 1988, NWA came onto the scene, igniting one of the first major disruptions within the music industry, creating a firestorm.
Police coming straight from the underground. A young nigga got it bad 'cause I'm brown.
People think that gangster rap is all like gang banging, shoot 'em up. NWA began talking about police brutality. And that was the thing that blew them up, which is something that we're still talking about now. And I do believe that a group like NWA bringing those kind of facts to the forefront started a lot of conversations that no one wanted to have. That's conscious rap.
We can go toe-to-toe in the middle of a sale.
He was really powerful, and Cube was really thoughtful. It wasn't just white cops, it was also black cops he was pointing a finger at.
These chronicles of life providing a glimpse into a way of life experienced by few.
They were painting this vivid picture that was almost like watching a movie. I was fascinated, you know? And then to think like these things were happening right up the way in this city. I was learning a lot from hip hop, still am, but those weren't things that we were necessarily hearing in school. And that was like the brutal, honest truth.
An education through lyrics, broken down and rolled into melodic rhythms and funky beats. The birth of the G-Funk era was a sound of its own.
It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to consume.
In some ways, I think the G-Funk era is as much about aesthetic as it is about sound. It's about the bass in the car stereo. It's about the haircuts, it's about the clothes, it's about the neighborhoods. Putting the top down and blasting those funky sounds.
Most New Yorkers don't drive, right? We get on the subway, we walk around, right? And the West Coast, it's totally a driving culture, right? So you're listening to songs in your car. So the West Coast was always like, take the tempo down, right? Tell a story, right? Make it funky so I can lay back and listen as I'm like grooving.
Laid back.
With my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
While Southern California was center stage, the Bay Area brought its own style into the landscape, demonstrating the spirit of hustle. Artists like Oakland's very own Too Short, providing free game for his listeners since the 1980s, delivering funkified sounds with tracks such as Gettin' It, featuring Parliament Funkadelic.
The first thing you need to do is set yourself some goals. Think positive. Everything else is old and working.
Bay Area gang spitting, I think it has spread wide and far. And if New York didn't introduce, top tier lyricism, I don't think people in the West Coast would have followed suit, but the gang banging gangster bravado that came out of LA in the Ice-T and NWA days is alive and well. Very positive, educational rappers like KRS-One, his DNA is still alive and well in hip hop. A lot of rappers, young and old, are spitting knowledge, like uplifting knowledge. It's not just some ignorant that the major labels are promoting.
Just north of Oakland, coming out of Vallejo, California, was E40, a natural successor to Too Short's glorification of the hustler lifestyle. Quickly gaining popularity with The Click, and not long after enjoying solo success in the early 90s, E40's heavy use of regional slang and double entendres separated him from the rest.
You being in the streets and just the Bay sound, how much of it influenced your style?
My style of rap was influenced by me being the character that I am. I'm just one of them dudes that's from the trenches, from the octagon, from the soil, that's gamed up, and I like to make people laugh, but it's a serious side to me too. We love bass lines, we like that eerie sound, we like that spooky music, you know, where it's spooky, but you spit your street slang over it and your game, and you just talk about what's really going on.
Classic singles like Tell Me When to Go are just one of many that display his gift of gab.
I'm from the Bay where we hyphy and go dumb. From the soil where them rappers be getting they lingo from. Tell me when to go.
I just need to know what app you use every day to learn a new word, because your vocabulary is unmatched.
Thank you. I was a quiet, sneaky, like observant Scorpio, you know, just watch. I sit around the older people, because you got to be a student of the game in order to have this gift of gab, the gift to spit what I got, you know what I mean? And a lot of the words I do say, it come from the streets. I'm a product of my environment. It's my surroundings. So a lot of the words, they really all come from the Bay Area, and they know it.
From the Bay to South Central, the West Coast themes center around speaking truth to power, and Tupac Shakur embodied this.
I see no changes, all I see is racist faces. Misplaced hate makes disgrace to races.
Changes was just one of his hit tracks addressing the socioeconomic struggles of the time. While he rapped and repped the West Coast, he spent much of his childhood on the East Coast.
In order for you to get the ingredients to make Tupac, you have to birth him in New York, drop him off in Baltimore, send him out to the Bay, and then push him on down to LA. You don't get him if you don't take him to those four places.
What role did Tupac have when it involved conscious rap and being associated so deeply with the West Coast and its lyrics?
Tupac was showing us the lyrics to Brenda's Got a Baby.
Well, let me show you how it affects our whole community.
And somebody said, who is Brenda? Like we might know her. And I'll never forget, he said, y'all are so dumb. Brenda is every black girl.
He knew how to touch people with his music, you know what I mean? I call it reality rap. It was reality, and it was talking about what was really going on in life.
Grammy Award-winning rapper J-Rock is carrying the torch. Representing Los Angeles' Watts neighborhood, he's continued the legacy of aspirational lyrics coming out of Southern California with anthems like Grammy-nominated Win.
Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah.
I came from nothing, and you know, I got, you know, and I just try to motivate people who coming from places where I come from, because I know how it is out there. And it's easy for them to connect because they went through the same struggle I went through, you know what I'm saying? It was a beautiful struggle, too. So they look at me as a leader, yeah, but I really like a motivator. Like, I really love motivating and inspiring.
From the emergence of gangster rap and G-Funk to the unfolding of socially conscious lyrics, the origins and success of West Coast rap continue to evolve, leaving a lasting impact on pop culture.
Whether you agree with it, whether you like it, whether you believe it, they're speaking their stories they have a huge megaphone. We had to make it even realer and deeper than it already was.
We all coexist together, you know what I'm saying? They up top, we up bottom, but at the end of the day, we all come together and make dope music for the West Coast, for sure.
I think the West Coast is a big influence on the world. We got our own thing.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.